think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that was.
Catch him, he want to catch you back. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, he's not. Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Canelo has responded to Terence Crawford accepting Floyd Mayweather's fight offer by warning that Crawford would defeat him in the ring. He stated that Crawford is currently the better fighter and deserves full credit for his accomplishments. Canelo described Crawford as amazing, praising his skill, precision, and timing. He added that Crawford has proven himself across multiple weight divisions, earning the respect of both fans and experts, and firmly establishing his greatness in the sport.
Than Floyd Mayweather. We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move. And
Garage Hackett shared his perspective on Canelo's comments about Terence Crawford, highlighting the contrast between Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather and Crawford's later victory. Hackett explained that when Canelo fought Mayweather at just 23 years old, he was still developing as a fighter and lacked the refinement and experience he has today. In contrast, Crawford faced Canelo after he had already become the face of boxing and one of its most skilled champions. According to Hackett, this context makes Crawford's victory even more significant, as it came against Canelo at his peak, unlike the younger, less polished version who lost to Mayweather.
Me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying. I do give Bud his credit though for beating Canelo, and Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire.
Joe Rogan expressed his astonishment at Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez, calling it an extraordinary achievement. He emphasized that Crawford moved up 2 full weight classes at the age of 37, something rarely seen in boxing history. Rogan pointed out that no fighter at such a stage of their career has ever managed to challenge and defeat someone of Canelo's caliber, making this win historic. To him, it was more than just another victory. It was a landmark moment that showcased Crawford's greatness and cemented his status as one of the most remarkable athletes in the sport.
Towards the end, towards the final rounds, really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
undisputed greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Yeah. Something special. And
something
he's
really
30,
special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah. One of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrapped.
Pauli Malignaggi weighed in on the ongoing debate over whether Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford is the greater fighter. He explained that such discussions will never have a clear conclusion, as each fighter belongs to a different era with unique challenges and circumstances. Malignaggi stressed that while comparisons are intriguing for fans and analysts, they are ultimately endless because both men have strong claims to greatness. He praised Floyd for his flawless record and legendary career, while also acknowledging Crawford's remarkable ability to dominate across multiple weight divisions and defeat top-tier opponents. For Malignaggi, it's the debate itself that keeps boxing exciting, even without a definitive answer.
And it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even smell, may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions.
Timothy Bradley shared a bold opinion, suggesting that Terence Crawford has the tools needed to defeat Floyd Mayweather as well. Bradley explained that Crawford combines intelligence, adaptability, power, and technique in a way that could neutralize Floyd's defensive brilliance. He argued that Crawford's ability to adjust mid-fight, paired with his sharp timing, would make him a nightmare opponent for Mayweather, even at his peak. Bradley's comments reflected his deep admiration for Crawford's skills and his belief that the Omaha native deserves to be mentioned among the greatest boxers of all time. To Bradley, Crawford isn't just a great fighter, he has everything it takes to challenge even the most untouchable legends.
Whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counter punches in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that back hand. The way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too? Man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counter puncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep. I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because...
Some voices in the boxing world argue that for Terence Crawford to truly surpass Floyd Mayweather's legacy, he must pursue a monumental challenge against Dmitry Bivol. Known for his size, skill, and dominance at light heavyweight, Bivol represents the type of test that could elevate Crawford's legacy to an even higher level. Critics claim that defeating Bivol would prove Crawford's ability to overcome a prime, bigger, and technically brilliant opponent. Such a victory, they argue, would silence any remaining doubts and establish Crawford as the ultimate historical figure in boxing, achieving feats beyond even what Mayweather accomplished.
It's so strong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat. Who's Bivol?
Reports suggest that Terence Crawford is aiming to make history by becoming a 6-division world champion, a milestone achieved by only a select few in boxing. Already celebrated for conquering multiple weight classes and defeating elite opponents, Crawford's ambition to climb even higher highlights his relentless drive to test himself at every level. The prospect of him competing at middleweight has sparked major excitement in the boxing world, as it would mean stepping into the 160-pound division against naturally bigger and stronger opponents.
And Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6-division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top 3 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight and became undisputed.
Adding further intrigue, Janibek liminally has issued a direct challenge to Terence Crawford, daring him not to shy away and to meet him at middleweight. Janibek, an undefeated champion with a rapidly growing reputation, views this as a chance to secure a career-defining fight against one of the greatest boxers of this era. For Crawford, accepting the challenge would not only represent a pursuit of legacy but also an opportunity to prove his dominance in yet another weight class. Whether or not the matchup becomes a reality, the very possibility has sparked intense debate among fans and analysts, making Crawford's next move one of the most closely watched storylines in boxing.
Up there, Tommy Hearns, that's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I would say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there. He's the IBF WBO champion.
An analyst reflected on the story of Miguel "Silky Smooth" Gonzalez, the last man to defeat Terence Crawford back in the amateur ranks. He noted that beating Crawford today would demand extraordinary preparation and skill, similar to the way opponents once viewed Floyd Mayweather in his prime. The analyst emphasized that Crawford has evolved into one of the most complete fighters in the sport, blending defensive sharpness with offensive precision. Much like Mayweather, whose style frustrated challengers for years, Crawford now carries that same aura of invincibility. His ability to adapt, avoid damage, and strike with pinpoint accuracy makes him the kind of fighter opponents know they must prepare for endlessly just to have a chance.
Punch with Crawford. You gotta counter Crawford and punch with Crawford. You gotta bang the body with Crawford. You gotta stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. I mean, as I remember, that's exactly what I did. You know, Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like, he kind of like cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. You know, he cut his height down and you know, I stayed in his chest, you know, and you gotta counter Crawford. You gotta fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup, I thought, you know. Maybe he fought his fight. I thought he fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I'll go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, you know, with Bud, I thought, you know, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah. And you know, Gamboa, you know, showed parts of that. You know, and Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you. Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer, shared his perspective on the victory over Canelo Alvarez, describing the fight as easy for Crawford and crediting their thorough preparation for every possible scenario. He also addressed the criticism surrounding Crawford's career choices, noting that fans and analysts are always suggesting opponents they believe he should face. When Crawford doesn't take those specific fights, accusations of ducking often follow. Bomac dismissed those claims, insisting that Crawford is focused on pursuing his own path rather than living up to others' expectations. He argued that Crawford's legacy should not be defined by public demands, but by the consistent success he has achieved inside the ring.
He's the naturally bigger man, but someone like Crawford, obviously, who's done what he's done, you have to be on the top of your game. And I felt with Canelo, it was probably too many single shots what he was throwing, but he wasn't throwing the usual singles and backing it up because he was getting counted. And
he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, it wasn't just that Canelo was bad is what I'm trying to get at. Crawford was absolutely sensational on the night and the deserved winner and one of the best.
Because the other side of the argument would be that they actually thought they might be getting Crawford at the right time because they hadn't fought for a while and had some particular surgery. I mean, did it go, as I said to you at the top of the show, Bomac, I mean, I watched you in the corner and I thought it was a exercise in how a corner should be conducted in terms of the communication, the coherency of it and the discipline behind who spoke, when they spoke, what they said and what needed to be heard. Did the fight go exactly as you had mapped out in your mind and what you thought would manifest itself? Is this your last fight? You know, which really annoyed me with Max Kellerman going in and making that the stop part of his questions. Do you think, Bomac, that he gets the recognition and the appreciation that his achievements merit?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Why do you think that is?
I think because of the simple fact that Terence is his own man. You know, he knows the path that he wants to go. And some of the boxing critics or some of the boxing people around boxing figure he should go this route or he should go that route. When he didn't go that route and he went this route, he's ducking the other middleweights. I mean, the other welterweight, so he's ducking the 140-pounder. No, he's not ducking them. He's just not available. Well, he should have went this way. I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to go.
Tony Jeffrey added to the debate by highlighting the unique qualities that made Floyd Mayweather untouchable in his era. He explained that Mayweather's brilliance went beyond his defense, encompassing his footwork, timing, and unmatched ability to outmaneuver opponents. According to Jeffrey, Floyd's movement was nearly flawless, allowing him to frustrate even the most elite fighters. He also reminded fans that Mayweather faced and defeated a lineup of legends throughout his career, further cementing his greatness. Jeffrey's remarks served as a reminder that while Terence Crawford's achievements are extraordinary, Mayweather's career remains one of the most decorated and technically remarkable in the history of boxing.
Wastes any steps while he's in the ring. He will pivot just enough to take away the angle from the person in front of him, then he will reset in the center of the ring, and his movement and his footwork was just perfect. And it was his feet that made him control every single fight, putting him in the perfect position to defend punches, then that small little sidestep either way to put him into the position to be able to land punches back. And he would also use his front foot to apply pressure with them small little steps, waiting for that moment to land them punches. And if you train boxing, you should be constantly working on the specific footwork things that you need to work on, because